Little Big History of Greek Storytelling by Angelica, Assad, and Amanda. The moment that you feel the anticipation for getting to the end of a book maybe draws you into every single detail that is told. You put yourself in the character's shoes, makes you feel like you're a part of the story. Then when you get to the end, it turns out that the ending is something that you totally didn't expect. Storytelling is an ancient way of using expression to tell a story. When a story is being told, the listener or reader is a co-creator because they use their imagination to picture of what the author is being describing, like the characters or the setting. Storytelling was also used to keep records to let others know about what's going on. Back to you, Angelica.
Big Bang happened around 13.8 billion years ago. The universe was once very hot, which made matter and energy. Energy turned into gravity, and this led up to making matter into electrons and quarks. Space expanded after the Big Bang, which created time. 200 million years ago, after the Big Bang, there were no stars in the universe. The universe was still expanding, which means it was getting colder and darker, known as the Dark Ages. The cosmic background radiation was introduced, and for a star to appear, matter, energy, gravity, and tiny differences need to be combined. Gravity pulled in the tiny differences and created stars.
The Greeks came up with the gods and goddesses' names by naming them by the constellations.
The universe was still cold, dark, and empty for the third threshold, new chemical elements. For new chemical elements to be produced, there has to be more elements. You might ask how to make new elements. Well, to make new elements, there needs to be more protons and neutrons. For protons and neutrons to combine, the universe will need to become very hot, meaning high temperatures. Since the universe is currently cold and dark, the universe will need dying and aging stars. Aging and dying stars are very important because they give us the Goldilocks condition, which is stars running out of hydrogen fuel. How long is that? Threshold began about 4.5 billion years ago, known as life. The Goldilocks condition for life are chemical elements. The second Goldilocks condition is energy. When energy is created, it is very important to have a little or not too much of energy. David Christian says, if there is too much energy, then the atoms will separate. And if there's too little amounts of energy, then the atoms will not combine. This is why energy is very important and also a Goldilocks condition. The third Goldilocks condition is appearance of water. In water, the atoms can move around not too slow and not too fast. They will combine, and this is what gives us life. But it's very important that the water and the atoms are in the cracks of the ocean, also known as oceanic vents. As time goes by, humans were increasing as a population in little parts of Africa. It was too cold for them to move around, so this is what we call the Ice Age. After the Ice Age, the climate became warmer and people started to move around and make new technology to use the resources on Earth. Wow. For agriculture to occur, the ingredients will have to be having knowledge about the environment. Can we pause that? Humans were increasing as a population in little parts of Africa. It was too cold for them to move around, so they stayed in one spot. And the cold period is called the Ice Age. After the Ice Age, the climate became warmer and people started to move around and make new technology. The new technology was used for using the resources on Earth. This is what we call agriculture. For agriculture to occur, knowing the environment was one of the ingredients. The second ingredient is increasing human population, like creating communities and cities and villages. Humans began to settle and create dense populations, similar to Mesopotamia. The more people that live in a community, the more resources the community will need. The increase of resources is one of the Goldilocks for threshold 7. Another Goldilocks condition is warmer climates. The warmer climate will make it easier to grow plants and more resources, like food. Once civilization increased, people started to network. Due to networking, Greek storytelling began. Now back to you, Amanda.
The very first Greek storytelling was the poem about Homer. Homer is a Greek god who created everything, including the earth. The poem was written around the Archaic Age. In communities, villages had a storyteller. Storytellers would pass on information, including stories. Greek storytelling was first used for recording records. For example, drawing was a source of telling a story as well as keeping records. Greek storytelling had influenced so many disciplines: medicine, language, and astronomy. Greek storytelling has influenced multiple cultures. In the American culture, students will learn about Greek mythology in class. Greek storytelling evolved from records to entertainment. Greek mythology was a source of controlling the people in the communities. The gods were shown respect or people feared them because of the power that they betrayed to the god to have. With Greek mythology evolving into stories, it has truth and fiction to it. But you're unable to tell the difference between when it starts to when it ends. Greek stories are something that we think is really interesting to hear about. During the time that the stories were only told to the Greeks, they thought of it as scarce and true. Greek stories were used to have people think that there was a higher power for the religious beliefs and cults. Directed by Assad, Amanda as Amanda, and Angelica as Angelica.